Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel, Her Voice with Queen Lebo Mkhize, reporting without fear and favor. Now, please do me a favor, subscribe, like, and share this video. And most importantly, don't forget to hit on the notification button so that you'll be notified with my next and upcoming videos. Now, there is a trending topic, of course, which is very hot on our social media and in the news and everywhere else, of course, which is the story of AKA our very own Keenan Forbes and, the late Tembe. Now, let me tell you why I see it fit to record this. I'm a South African who's very, very opinionative. I'm a South African with a different mindset. And I saw it fit for me to be part of the discussion, of course, because I believe that my opinion will matter, of course, for such a time as this. And now let me just share some views with you based on success. I believe that success is finding a human need and reaching out to meet that need. I believe that success is leaving the world better and richer than how you met it. And success is inspiring the world to aspire to your aspiration. And I honestly believe that as South Africans, it's time for us to have these talks. It's time for us to have these real talks and discuss the undiscussed and touch on those sensitive issues that no one is willing to touch on. Now, without wasting any of your time, I'm going to, of course, take you directly to the funeral of the late Tembe, and we are going to go through the statement, of course, read by a dear friend to the father of the late Tembe, which for me, it stood out. And I remember the day I listened to it, and, those that follow me on social media and on our, WhatsApp platforms, I said, wow, finally, there's a voice that, I've been waiting to hear with all these things happening in our country. For some reason, I thought it was like I was listening to a ministerial, statement. Wow. And with those words said, before we go into the video, I want to say big up to you, Mr. Moses Tembe. I have so much respect for you, sir. So now let's go right into the video and we'll take it from there.
If her send-off was silent on speeches and more on singing and the word of God.
Wow, the word of God.
However, after consultations, I thought it wise to say a few words. I love all my children, and they make my life complete. Anele made me happy as a father. Very happy.
Very happy.
In that respect, Anele excelled. She went an extra mile in making me happy as a father of a girl child. Anele was feisty, very feisty, strong-willed, as some would say. She was single-minded in her pursuits and ways, what others would uncritically call stubborn. Anele never minced her words, an attribute that would perturb her siblings, which she balanced and counter-levered by her giving her absolute best to those around her. In my deepest desire that my girl live to be who she wanted to be, I nurtured these Anele traits of sheer single-mindedness, independence, and assertiveness. For I truly believed she needed guidance rather than repression. And one strongly differed with her, persuasion rather than brute force. I remember one day in 2009 or thereabout, when Dr. Dilizam G came to meet me at my home. After I had assured Annette that I wouldn't be having any meetings that day and would give her my undivided attention. The 10-year-old Annette wouldn't hear none of it. She made such a scene of my deceit. Deliza literally offered to leave and meet me at another time, and he left. Annelle was a dreamer. Annelle's stated dream was to open the first Michelin star-graded restaurant in South Africa. When she turned 21, Annelle chose to go to she chose to go to Ibiza. Others call it Ibiza, whatever. Her argument being the recent family trips to the UK and France had tickled her culinary senses so much she wanted her dream of a Michelin star-graded restaurant to be hastened rather than delayed. I supported Annelle in her quest, but I told her it wasn't inspiration alone that she needed to succeed. She also needed chefing skills and business acumen, and she was doing something about it. Annelle prided herself of being not into boys. Her wish was to fall in love and get married to a man that would become a father of her children. Annelle and I had different views on priorities. Hence, we had father-daughter debates about her life. But it was her life. And she was clear that I want to get married as I develop. It was no wonder, therefore, that before she turned 22, she fell in love with Kenan, and lobola negotiations were held between the Tembes and the Forbes just a few weeks ago. I have always been happy with my daughter, and even when she introduced us to Kenan, I was very happy for her. I approved of their choices, and I made a very explicit suggestion as a condition to my approval that Annelle and Kenan needed to subject themselves to proper premarital counseling. I knew Kenan loved my daughter, but I knew that their enduring companionship needed more than just love. It had to be premised and embedded on a godly foundation. I know they were due for such premarital counseling on the past weekend of misfortune. I was determined to assist both of them in conquering their challenges, some of which I knew. Annelle's dream has been shattered, and so is mine. That said, I count myself as entirely privileged and blessed, having fathered a girl.
Now there we are, South Africa, you know. This is a father who's talking from the heart, a grieving father who have lost a dear daughter whom he raised very well. And of course, like most of us as parents, had big dreams for her daughter, who I believe was a very strong-willed girl, who was a dreamer and who knew what she wanted in life. And of course, like most of us as parents, you know, the father is saying to us, his dream was for them, or his plan was for them to have a proper premarital counseling. You understand? That's what I admire about Mr. Tembe. And then he said he also, just before the tragedy, advised this couple to go through, a godly foundation, because he believed in a proper and godly foundation. Now, that is why I said, let us give honor to whom honor is due to. You understand? Now, let us continue and hear what he says next regarding, of course, the passing of Anele, where he disputes these rumors that Anele was, of course, she was suicidal and she had wanted to commit suicide. Let us just hear what his thoughts were on that case.
Child like Anele. Thank you, Lord. So why are we here? We're here because Anele is no more.
Mm-hmm.
How is Anele no more?
One would ask the question.
In answering the vexing question, I must hasten to state the obvious, that I wasn't there when Anele met her fate last Sunday. I neither seek to attack any person, nor cast aspersions, nor create suspicions, nor stigmatize any mental condition.
Mm-hmm.
However, I cannot allow an unfortunate narrative go unchallenged. A narrative that irks me to no end as a father, which is maliciously pervaded in some circles, that Anele, my daughter, was a chronically suicidal or had suicidal tendencies. All I can say is that until she turned 21, Anele wouldn't consider taking her own life as a solution. Not a single member of my family, Anele's family,
This must be very sad, of course, for him. It's not easy for him. Of course, as we can see, there we see, the Forbes, we see Lynn Forbes, which is the mother to AKA himself is there, during the funeral proceedings, and they are watching, and he can say, the man cannot even finish his statement because, having watched Anele grow up, having so close to the family and understanding and knowing the thoughts and the pride that Mr. Tembe had, and that, the wishes and the dreams they had all had, for this young woman must have been really hard for them. I can understand right there. Let us just continue with this video and watch the rest of it, of course.
Not a single member of my family, Anele's family, will have ever associated Anele with suicide. It never arose. Living would not have been Anele's challenge. On the contrary, Anele loved herself so much. She wanted to live more rather than less. As Anele's father, I hereby state categorically that Anele was neither suicidal nor did she commit suicide. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to understand the forces that put us in a situation that we find ourselves. Of course, we must, as a matter of extreme priority, deal with the scourge that bedevils our youth.
Wow.
Alcohol.
We've had it ourselves. And that is why I say respect for Mr. Moses Tembe. He just rubbished, of course, the narrative that his daughter was suicidal or had the tendencies of wanting to commit suicide. And he goes further to say, we need to be able to deal with the forces, of course, of the scourge, to deal with the scourge that bedevils our youth. And there, guys, he's mentioning alcohol and substance abuse. Let us continue as the statement is read, of course, by the friend of Mr. Tembe.
Which is
Overused
drugs.
and drugs.
Especially if we envisage our youth contributing meaningfully to our nation building and economic development efforts.
Especially if we as a country, as a society, envisage our youth contributing to the positive economy and everything to do with our country, we need, as per his words, we need to pay attention to the challenges that we face as a nation, as a country, as a society, of course. Let us then continue as he reads the statement from the father.
Fellow South Africans, we had better wake up and smell the coffee. We have a serious problem with substance abuse and add to that other social ills, then we are in a crisis.
Fellow South Africans, I'm going to, quote Mr. Tembe here. We better wake up and smell the coffee and pay attention to the crisis that adds to other social ills that we are in our country. Just, to just quote him on that. Let us continue with this.
If there's a notion that must be dispelled once and for all, it is that your child comes of age at 21. Legal capacity and maturity aside. But the virtual umbilical cord must be nourished at all times.
Wow. Right there again, respect for Mr. Moses Tembe. He is now talking about the age limit of 21, which is in South Africa, we are told that, as soon as our kids turn 18 or, from age 21, they become adults. So therefore, we don't have a say in their upbringing or in the decision-making of their lives. And the man is crying out. The man is crying out to the government that something needs to be done about it. He says it needs to be revisited, just, quoting him on the statement, of course. Let us continue with that video going ahead.
We must strengthen the bonds and create bigger space for meaningful engagement with our children, even beyond the age of 21. Isaiah 6 verse 1 uthi ngonyaka wokufa kwenkosi uZiya ngabona uJehova. Tragic as a death as it may be, analysis made me realize the importance of family. I couldn't have pulled this through without family. I wish to thank you, my family, Annele's aunts and uncles, siblings and cousins, grandmothers. I wish to thank you for the unconditional love that you continue to show. And I want to thank you for the selfless support that you give. Thank you to the church, the Assemblies of God, and to all my friends, far and wide. A special thank you to you, Sbu Shabalala, Slobo Sam, Tembe, Clive Mangi, Sandile Zungu, Muzi Ntombela, Jay Mapumulo, Bongantembe, Jamabuza. Guys, you have made the extreme pain of losing Annele less burdensome. God bless you. I want to express my posthumous gratitude to Annele's biological mother, Ululu Mamsomi, as well as Tuntwana.
Wow, there we had it once again, where the father is saying, can we extend this unbiblical code beyond the age of 21? The man is crying out to say, can there be more platforms where we are able to engage with the youth of South Africa, our beloved children, beyond the age of 18 and 21? Can we please be allowed to guide them and lead the way? The man is saying, we gave birth to them. We might not always be right, but we know what's best for our children. You know, he's thanking God for the life of his beloved daughter, and of course, thanking family. Family is everything, and his beloved friends who made this unbearable pain of losing a daughter at a very tender age of 21 years, you know, which gives me so much concern. Of course, as a woman in South Africa, of course, as a mother of a girl child, of course, as a woman who advocates against children and gender-based violence, and that we seem to be losing our girl child or girl children between the ages of 19, 20, 21, 22. And I truly believe that we really need to start paying attention. And it's time for us to sit down and have real talks. We need to be able to sit down and face the real challenges that are facing our society, that are facing our youth. Today in South Africa, which the men counting him alcohol abuse, substance abuse. Let us stop beating about the bush. And for me, my view, I would like to say on this video, big up to Mr. Moses Tembe, for your contribution, for speaking up your heart, speaking up your mind, and for me, my wish is, I wish we would have more parents, talking like you, talking truth to power, addressing the necessary. That's the only way we are going to get South Africa where it needs to be and be able to save lives of our youth. Without wasting any more of your time, of course, I hope that you like this video. Don't forget to click on the notification button and share it, subscribe, of course, and thank you so much for tuning in, and look out to more videos that will be coming up soon. Big up and well done. I respect you, Mr. Moses Tembe. Thank you, and God bless you. May God give your family, the closure and the peace that you need, in memory, of course, of Anele Tembe. Thank you very much, South Africa. I love you, and God bless you.